Welcome back to Bravo Breaking News. I am your host, Kim, and it is time for another episode of Unpopular Opinions, my weekly show where I break down all of the top Bravo moments and news of the week, and of course, give my opinions on them all.
That's my opinion!
We had so much news dropped on us this week. I mean, Bravo announced new shows. We also have alleged cancellations of some other shows and some news coming out of Beverly Hills, Summer House, and Southern Hospitality. And I am going to get into it all, including the question on everybody's lips. Is The Real Housewives of New York really canceled? I've got all of the tea on that, including some unpopular opinions, of course. But before I dive in, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any more Bravo breaking news. Okay, let's start with the elephant in the room, and that is Real Housewives of New York. In case you guys missed it, we went on a roller coaster the last couple days trying to figure out whether Real Housewives of New York was officially canceled. Now, I know a lot of you are going to be like, hold up, Bravo and Andy announced that it's not canceled, so why are you even talking about it? There is a lot that has happened that I think explains what's going to happen with the future of the show, and I need to break it all down. So it all started when Page Six dropped the headline that said, Bravo flagship Real Housewives of New York going off the air. Network hopes to revive it. It's a milestone moment for Bravo. One of its flagship shows, The Real Housewives of New York City, is going off the air, Page Six has learned, with no firm plans for its return. But it doesn't seem as if there's any great expectation that it'll be back anytime soon. We're trying to figure that show out, said an insider. We want to figure it out. We think there's still life in it. But they warn that other shows that have sat on ice for years before being revived, such as The Real Housewives of Miami, which was canceled in 2013 and didn't return until 2021. So, of course, this set the internet ablaze, me included. I was actually a little bit shocked to hear this, though at the same time, not surprised. I'm going to be real with you guys. I did not really enjoy the New York reboot. I am a RHONY OG stan. I believe that those original years of The Real Housewives of New York were some of the best in Housewives history. I love the original cast. Yes, I know many of them are very problematic, Ramona. But honestly, if we just go back to those early days before Ramona got so bad we could not watch her on TV any longer, it was really just a fun group of authentic, delusional women with an authentic friendship living their lives in the Upper East Side of New York. I mean, it was reality TV gold. I'm currently rewatching it from the beginning before this news even came out, and it is just so good. I recommend everybody go back and watch from the beginning. But the reboot just really did not live up to the expectations of the original. I'm sorry. I know the original kind of went downhill at the very end there and something needed to be done, but this reboot was not the answer. So I was like, okay, sure. They decided to cancel the reboot. They're going to figure something else out. Fine. Then Bravo started doing damage control. They came out and said, oh, no, 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 wait, The Real Houses of New York isn't canceled. We had Kate Arthur from Variety tweeting, nothing has happened with Real Housewives of New York that's different from before Bravo made those announcements earlier this week. Weird story. And then Andy does the pointing down emoji and reposts her post, basically implying that the Page Six article was false, that it was not canceled. Now, about the announcements, I will get to those in a minute, but in case you missed it, Bravo did do a slew of new TV announcements and renewals for upcoming shows, including our favorites like Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Real Housewives of Orange County, Summer House, Southern Charm, etc. The only two shows that were left off that list was The Real Housewives of New York and Real Housewives of New Jersey. So honestly, I think it was safe for Page Six to go ahead and say something like, at the moment, Real Housewives of New York is off the air. They said themselves they don't know what they're going to do with it. They hope to revive it, but right now they don't have a firm plan. And honestly, Bravo can say that all they want. They can say that they're going to put it on pause. But honestly, guys, it's a sinking ship. Just let sleeping dogs lie. The reboot was not, making ratings. People did not like it. I don't know. I feel like they should just let it go and take a breather to figure out how to move forward with this franchise. So they can say it's not canceled all they want, but we all know what happens when they put shows on pause. I mean, Dubai was put on pause, Dallas was put on pause, even Miami was effectively canceled and didn't come back for what, 13 years, like that article said. So even though it does have a potential to get revived at some point, I think we can effectively say it's done as we know it. But Andy and Bravo continue to deny the claims. The Cut posted a post that says, "Bye bye, RHONY. After 15 seasons and 2 casts, it looks like the Real Houses of New York City is going dark for now." Bravo Andy left a comment that says, "This is a cute story, except it's not canceled." I'm sorry, but I just don't believe it. I think it should be canceled, Bravo. I think that you should move on to something else because let's be real, this reboot is not working as it is. You need to do something different. You need to figure something else out. A lot of people want the OGs, not the problematic ones, to come back. We want to see Luann, Sonia, Dorinda, maybe even Kelly Ben Simone come back into the fold and maybe be mixed up with maybe a few of the newer cast members. It's okay to admit defeat. It's okay to move on, Bravo. We know that this show was one of the golden shows of Bravo for a while, but it is no longer that. So it is okay for you to take some time, put it on pause, and revive it when you are ready. I think we can just say it's effectively canceled for now, but may come back sometime in the future. A lot of people reacted, including, I hate to say it, Bethany Frankel. Yes, now I don't really follow Bethany's antics on social media. I know she is problematic and has become like annoying, for lack of a better word, on social media. But I have to say, in this instance, I agree with Bethany.
New York City was my playground, and The Real Housewives of New York has been canceled. It's poetic. It is bittersweet. It is the end of an era for me personally and for that show, which was an alchemy of disaster. It was a flawed group of women in a flawed city, authentically being ourselves, unhinged, unmatched, shockwaves through the real socialite community in New York and the media. And the powers that be pandered to society and tried to fit 25 pounds in a 5-pound bag. And if you try to please everybody, you please nobody. So they cast this glossy, curated version of what they thought people wanted New York City to be, instead of just a group of friends that live in New York City being ridiculous, crazy, imperfect, making mistakes, lying, cheating, stealing, copying, and berating, in some cases shitting their pants. And people loved it because no matter what, it was real. It was the realest that genre can be. So, bye New York, you will be missed.
I mean, she's not wrong. She's not wrong. This forced group of friends created forced storylines, fake feuds, and it just did not mesh well. It did not come off as authentic. You guys know how much I like Bravo. I will watch anything on that network. But to be real with you guys, I did not finish the last season of Real Housewives of New York. It was that bad for me. Of course, I had to know what was going on with the Brynn and Uba thing. I watched the finale. I did not watch the reunions. I think I skipped about 6 episodes in the middle of the season. It just wasn't doing it for me. And I hope that Bravo does take the time to kind of put it on ice, figure out what the next steps are, and move forward in a way that I think they should. Maybe a mix of the two. I think maybe mix some OGs, bring some of the newbies back. Who knows? Maybe we should have Paige and Lindsay from Summer House join the cast. I don't know, but something needs to be done. And I don't think that the answer is clear to them just yet. If you had to vote, what would you want to happen to the future of the Real Housewives of New York? Drop your opinions in the comments below. Okay, let's move on from New York back to that announcement that I mentioned Bravo made earlier this week. And yes, while they announced the renewal of many of our beloved shows, they also announced 4 brand new shows premiering on Bravo. We've got Real Housewives of Rhode Island, a brand new Real Housewives franchise. The return of Ladies of London. Guys, this was one of my favorite Bravo TV shows. I can't believe it's coming back. We've got the Valley Persian style with some of our favorite Shahs of Sunset and Wife Swap Real Housewives edition, which we spoke about a couple weeks ago. There was a rumor about the show circulating and it has finally been confirmed. So let's dive into each show. Let's start with the Real Housewives of Rhode Island. Set against the shores of the Ocean State, the Real Housewives franchise expands into the world of a tight-knit circle of Rhode Islanders who have deep community roots and families that go back generations. With aspirational lives, thriving businesses, and tangled family dynamics, these decade-long friendships prove that in a state this small, there's no escaping your past or each other. Honestly, 10 out of 10 show description. It sounds like these women know each other, have history with each other. And Andy even said in an interview that this is basically like the new New Jersey. Like there are a lot of Italian families in this franchise, and the roots go deep like they did in New Jersey. So could this technically be New Jersey's replacement? I don't know, but I'm here for it. It's definitely giving the announcement of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Like when Bravo announced that at first, we were like, excuse me, Salt Lake City? What is there in Salt Lake City? No offense to Salt Lake City, but it's not, the cities that you would think of when you think of reality TV. But in my opinion, that's what makes the best reality TV shows is when you don't center it around a city, but center it around the people, the cast, the friend group. No matter where they are, if they have drama, the show is going to deliver. All right, let's jump over to Ladies of London. Ladies of London is back with a new wave of British blue bloods, ambitious American expats, and glamorous international socialites. As tradition clashes with the fast-paced globalized world, these power players redefine what it means to be a woman of status in one of the most iconic cities in the world. Here, connections are currency, and the crown isn't the only thing up for grabs. I love that they're bringing back Ladies of London. That was one of the best Bravo shows. I was so sad to see it again be put on pause, but be revived, a decade later? Now, if you did watch the original, you probably remember Juliet Angus, who was a cast member. She has actually been posting on social media, and people think that she might be returning for this new Ladies of London. However, it has been kind of talked about that she might actually be going on the Real Housewives of London, which is actually separate than this Ladies of London. It's actually going to be a UK only show on Hey You, Real Housewives of London. So this is actually separate. Juliet may actually be going on the Real Housewives of London, not Ladies of London. How the shows will differ, I do not know, but either way, I am excited for it. Now let's move on to the Valley Persian style. Reza, Gigi, and MJ share an unbreakable bond, one built on years of friendship, fiery clashes, and the kind of history that never fades. They also share a deep connection to their Persian culture, something that runs just as strong in the group of friends they now call family. As they take on the next stage of life in the Valley, their world is bigger, their circle is bolder, and their challenges are more real than ever. As we'll see, their next chapter in life isn't quieter, it's just more complicated. The Shahs are back. I know many of you, including myself, are so excited to see these three back on our screens. When Shahs of Sunset was canceled, it was devastating to many a Bravo viewer. And we all kind of questioned why it got canceled. I mean, yes, there were some problematic cast members, but it sounds like Bravo has kind of cleaned that up and kept the three that we all love so much and are kind of doing a spinoff of The Valley with them. And I love it. Finally, Wife Swap, the Real Housewives edition. When a Real Housewife takes off her stilettos and steps into a Real Housewife's shoes, all bets are off as two of entertainment's most iconic franchises are mashed up, leading to laugh out loud moments, personal epiphanies, and an opportunity to see if the grass is truly greener. Now, this is the one that was rumored for a couple weeks. It has now been confirmed by Bravo, and we do have a rumored cast, which we spoke about as well, which is Emily Simpson, Angie K from Salt Lake City, Wendy from Potomac, and Melissa Gorga. Now, at first, I thought these women would be swapping lives with each other. But from the description, it kind of sounds like they will actually be swapping with real housewives, real people, real families, not other housewives. So I'm still here for it. But honestly, Bravo, think about the other original idea that I had because that could also be absolutely hilarious. Okay, so we've got new shows coming down the pipeline. We've got alleged cancellations. Who knows what's going to happen with New York? But we are also all questioning what's going to happen with the future of Beverly Hills. Last week, I did talk about some casting rumors. It looks like all of the original cast, full-time cast members at least, will be returning for the next season. Somebody who won't be returning, though, along with Garcelle, Avi, Sutton's assistant, because Sutton went on Jeff Lewis Live and had a very interesting story about how her and Avi have actually parted ways. So I'm not sure how the conversation came up. I didn't listen to the whole episode, but we do have a clip of Sutton getting interviewed on Jeff Lewis Live. And Jeff Lewis, I got to give him props. He is a great interviewer and he will not stop until he gets an answer because Sutton reveals that her and Avi have parted ways.
No, he's no longer working with me.
And, he keeps hounding her.
Did he find another position? Was it just not working out?
What happened? Did you fire him? Did he quit? Did you let him go? What is the deal? She says, in my opinion, Avi is no longer working with me.
In my opinion,
Uh-oh. That's weird.
in my opinion, Avi is no longer working with me.
She also, purposely says working with her, not for her, which I think is just like Sutton. We all know he was working for you, not with you. She continues the conversation saying, things have evolved. It's different now between me and him. I've been really busy. We haven't really spoken. Like, was it kind of like a ghosting situation? He says point blank, did you fire him or did he quit? Was it mutual?
Did you fire him or did he quit? Did you let him go?
And she goes,
Was it mutual though? That's the question.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
We'd have to ask Avi.
this was just a strange interaction, if you ask me. I mean, it's very clear, unless something bad happened between you and Avi, there should be a very clear answer to this question. And she doesn't seem to have one. So, of course, the internet went crazy. There are rumors that he was maybe essentially treated poorly as her employee. So he decided to leave, which honestly wouldn't surprise me. And in the same interview, she also reveals that she has not spoken to Garcelle since Garcelle announced that she was leaving Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Now, these are two people that have been in Sutton's corner from the very beginning. It was actually really funny because I went on Instagram to try to find a picture of the three of them to post about this, and I come across this old post from Sutton with a caption that reads, "I love these two people. We work together, we play together, we share stories from our lives. I can't imagine not having them in my life. Cheers to friendship and happy Friday." Well, Sutton, it appears that you have neither one of them in your life anymore. And I don't know. Does that mean that Sutton is the problem, maybe? I don't know. I do feel a little bit bad for Sutton going into this next season with kind of no ally behind her. But at the end of the day, it's probably her own fault. She definitely didn't have Garcelle's back like Garcelle had hers. And I think at the end of the day, Garcelle just got fed up with it. And maybe Avi did too. I mean, we saw what that man was put through, but what we saw probably didn't even scratch the surface, guys. I can't imagine working for Sutton. So I don't know. I bet Avi is better off without her. All I know is that Avi, if you're listening, I would love for you to come on the show. I would love to speak with you. I bet he has an ironclad NDA and is not allowed to speak about any of his time working for Sutton. But still, maybe one day when the statute of limitations is up, we might actually hear his story. Okay, let's jump over to a little bit of Southern hospitality news because I don't know if you saw, I think it was announced yesterday that Will and Emmy from Southern Hospitality are engaged. Yeah, my thoughts exactly. When I saw this post, yes, I am happy for them. But if you watch the last season of Southern Hospitality, you know that they were pretty much the main storyline and not for good reason. It is alleged that Will actually cheated on Emmy while he was in law school. He denies it. She continues to stand up for him. But I don't know. A lot of cast members seem to think differently. And like I always say, Where there's smoke, there's fire. I don't know. I mean, a lot of people think that Emmy may just want to, be a trophy wife and marry a rich lawyer. He's in law school, about to become a lawyer. I don't know if I believe that. I do believe that they are in love. So hey, yes, there's a lot of smoke around this relationship for sure, but they're young, they're in love. Let them get married. Let them maybe make a mistake. I don't know. Let them learn their lessons, but they seem happy for now. They got an exclusive with People that says Southern Hospitality's Emmy Sherritt and Will Culp are engaged, my best friend and my soulmate. The proposal happened on Monday, May 5th, while the pair, who met in Charleston, were on vacation outside of Saint-Tropez at the Lily of the Valley Hotel. They had traveled to the south of France for a getaway during Culp's break from studying law at the University of South Carolina. I love everything about Will, a blissful Sherritt, 27, tells People of Culp, who she met in the F45 gym when he was her trainer. I love the way he loves. I love how he thinks. I love his intelligence, his family. I love how hardworking and determined he is. I love that we have the same birthday. I love the way he says my name, and I love waking up next to him. He is my best friend and soulmate, she adds. I love that we get to spend the rest of our lives together. Okay, I know this is an interview with People magazine, but do you think you could take it down like several notches, Emmy? Like, this is just a little bit too much, in my opinion. If you look at their engagement photos, it's honestly giving. She wore shoulder pads to the beach. She knew it was coming. Like, she's literally wearing sequins on a beach. So it's definitely giving Paige DeSorbo / Lindsay Hubbard on Summer House. Like I said, there's a lot of things wrong with this, but I'm still going to wish them the best. Congratulations to Will and Emmy. I hope it works out for you. Okay, finally this week, let's jump over to Summer House because, as always, every week, there is drama going on, not only on the show, but also on social media. So, first, I don't know if you guys saw this, but I guess Jesse Solomon went on Amazon Live and revealed that there is some big Summer House announcement coming during the reunion. Now, I feel like this happens like during every season for every reunion. Some cast member always says there's going to be some shocking announcement, and it's never really that shocking. But the rumors going around nonetheless, and it definitely has me thinking what the announcement could be. I mean, a lot of people are wondering maybe Amanda's pregnant. Others are wondering maybe Lindsay is leaving the Summer House. Maybe Paige is leaving the Summer House. There's even a rumor going around that they might actually be moving to a new house this summer, not in the old house with the broken door that is now fixed, because the house that they rent usually during the summers is actually available to rent this summer. So could that be the announcement that they are switching houses? Others have even said, oh, maybe they're going off on a vacation together and not going to be doing the Hamptons this summer. I mean, this big announcement could actually be anything. So I guess we'll just have to wait for the reunion to find out. On this week's episode, we unfortunately found out that Lexi and Jesse are back together. I was actually kind of shook to see that happen. Lexi, what are you doing getting back together with Jesse Solomon, giving him another shot? I mean, I know that they are not together in real time. So when does she finally call it quits? I thought that she would be donezo with him at this point, but it looks like she's not. She's giving him another chance. And I just want to know what he does for her to finally call it. Another interesting moment from this week's Summer House was actually the conversation that Carl had with Jesse and Kyle outside near the pool, because he talked about a lot of things. The first of which, him basically saying that Lindsay was embarrassed, is still embarrassed by him breaking up with her and doesn't quite feel comfortable being around him. And that is the reason why she didn't attend his soft bar launch party. Well, Lindsay certainly had something to say about this, and rightfully so. She posted an Instagram story, a very long one, I might add, that said, "This man has me all wrong. But then again, this is the guy who said I was obsessed with him over summer." Number one, what are we in middle school? Embarrassed is not the word here. This man, my best friend of 8 years, fiance, partner, blindsided me and publicly humiliated me on national television with less respect than you would have for your enemy. Why on earth would I go to his soft launch for his bar that wasn't even opening yet? Which brings me to number two. I didn't attend said launch, not because I was embarrassed, but good try. I didn't attend because why would I go 3 hours deep into New Jersey in the middle of rush hour traffic on a summer Thursday for a bar that at the time didn't even have a location locked in? And that you're talking about opening in Brooklyn, the complete opposite direction. Call me when it's actually launching, but I'm not going to waste 8 hours of my life to go celebrate him talking about potentially doing something at some point, maybe in the future. Call me when it's opening. Number 3, after watching this season back, I don't think I'm the one throwing jabs at his concept. Pretty sure a lot of people had a lot of opinions on this endeavor, and it wasn't me. Mic drop, boom. I mean, no lies detected. Honestly, no lies detected on Lindsay's part. I think she check, read him like a book. But Carl didn't go quietly because he did comment about this Instagram story on the Brands of Bravo post that says, this had nothing to do with her coming to New Jersey or the soft bar event. Zero. I was asked a question by Kyle about why she's making jabs all summer, and I responded with an opinion in the moment, and I regret even saying anything about her because here we are with a post-episode story rant and bullet points about something that hasn't nothing to do with that conversation. Lindsay then replied to his reply and said, hey, Carl, if all you're getting from me are jabs after the insane disrespect and gaslighting you showed me the season before, you should be thanking your lucky stars. Seems like someone is a little soft. I owe you literally nothing. I shared a space with you all summer. We are not friends, nor will we ever be. Oof, I'm sorry, but I'm Team Lindsay on this one. I also feel like Lindsay has been very respectful of Carl, and they actually had a decent summer together. They were pretty respectful of each other. And I think that it's okay that one, she doesn't attend his launch party, and two, is a little bitter about this business idea because she's the one that told him not to do it in the first place. And let's be real, she's right. It's a bad idea, Carl. Don't do it. That brings me to my next point because in the same conversation, he reveals that he is about to sign a $10,000 a month 7-year lease. Carl, do not do it. Please, for the love of God, do not sign this lease. I was shaking in this moment. I am afraid of what's going to happen to this man after this business does not last. And we're all wondering, did he actually sign the lease? Well, I did a little bit of research, and if you Google soft bar, we have an address in Brooklyn. It looks like he did sign the lease. If you look on Google Street View, it is a warehouse style space with a warehouse door, exactly how he described it. And if you look even further on the map, it says soft bar opens August. It looks like he actually did sign this lease. I hope it wasn't for 7 years because Carl, that's not good. That's a bad idea, especially when your best friend Kyle, the first question out of his mouth is, "Oh, how can you get out of it?" Even Kyle knows it's a bad idea, yet he doesn't want to bring that up to Carl because Carl is so passionate about this business. I understand how passionate he is about it. I get it. I mean, I know that Carl needs something like this on his own. I just don't think a 7-year, $10,000 a month lease is it. Maybe you do pop-ups. Maybe you do a traveling pop-up cocktail van like he had at the party. But don't invest in a space like this, especially, I don't know if you guys remember, but maybe last month or the month before, we were talking about how Softbar was actually crowdfunding. They were crowdfunding, which means that they are allowing regular people like us to invest in the business. So the goal was $1 million, I believe, around $1 million. The crowdfunding campaign ended, I think, about 2 weeks ago. What did he raise? $130,000 total. That is not even going to come close to what he needs to even start the build out of this space. He said that the build out was going to cost $600,000. Kyle said, for contingency, add another 50%, so $900,000. This is even going to cover a small portion of that, let alone the monthly rent and expenses. So, Carl, I'm no mathematician, but look at the numbers here. The math isn't mathing. It's not adding up. I really hope he didn't sign a 7-year lease. I'm sure we'll find out more about it at the reunion. Looks like we're going to have a soft bar opening in August. I bet it will be one of the focuses of this upcoming season of Summer House. So I guess we'll find out more then. So that's it for this week. As always, a lot going on in the Bravo universe. Bravo keeps us fed. Thank you so much for that. So we will be back next week to cover more unpopular opinions. Make sure you guys drop your opinions in the comments below. Do you agree with me? Do you not? And hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any more Bravo breaking news.